Are you tired of the 9 to 5 grind and dreaming of creating a life of freedom, impact, and abundance? In today's episode, I'm giving you the roadmap to turn your coaching dreams into a successful online coaching business. If you've ever fantasized about impacting lives and earning an income while doing it, then this episode is definite for you. So, welcome to another episode of Rich Minds, Rich Lives. I'm your host, Alease Michelle Jones, and I'm here to guide you on your journey from coach to thriving entrepreneur. So, today I'm going to share with you the keys to building a wildly successful online coaching business. We're going to dive into your coaching niche. We're going to be talking about how to create a compelling brand. And we're also going to be talking about utilizing effective marketing strategies and uncovering some of the tools and resources that I use in my business as well to help me build a successful coaching business. I want to jump right into talking about defining your coaching niche. And look, I know we talked about this a little bit in some other episodes about finding what niche you want to work in. But I want you guys to know that your niche doesn't always have to talk about demographics or psychographics information, but your niche should be revolving around what you are interested in, your unique skills. So, say you have a background as a corporate leader or manager, right? But you also have a passion for health and wellness. Well, you can easily combine the two and create a new niche under like corporate wellness coach. See, a lot of the common mistakes that a lot of people make when they're trying to find their niche, trying to fit into what's popular instead of really looking at what they're really good at. And it's just easier when you do things where you're good at. So, like, some people like to go into like fitness and then they become a fitness coach or something like that when they really are not into like lifting weights. What they like is the herbs and the teas and things like that. Or they like the idea of a stress-free life and how they created that. So instead of trying to follow what is popular, I like to tell my clients, and I like to tell you guys who are listening to me, follow what you're good at. And when you follow what you're good at, other things are going to fall into place. So as I share some of the steps with you on how do you define your niche, think about that because one of the first things about how to find your niche so that you are happy doing it. Because if you're happy doing it, you're eventually going to lead and have a successful coaching business, right? You will agree with that. You want to definitely list your skills and experiences and passions that you have. So spend some time with yourself, write down your experiences, pull out that resume and look at it. Now, how many of us really look at our resume after we're giving it to an employee or actually gotten a job? Well, pull that resume back out. And I want you to look at your skill sets. And then I want you to rate your skill sets of those skills of what you're really passionate about. And that's going to be your sweet spot. So start to list those skills and experiences and your passions that you have. Then I want you to identify where that intersects with the market. And what I mean by that is that I want you to identify what people actually need. So if you are passionate about wellness and health, but you also have experience with teaching and educating and things like that, then how do you put those two together? So, I mean, for me, if I know that you have a passion for health and wellness, but I also know you have a passion and you have skill sets and teaching and educating or training, then I would definitely say that you're a health educator. You're a fitness or health wellness educator, teaching other people, whatever the age bracket is or whatever region they're in, how to be healthy. That is how you start to intersect your experiences with your passion. Then I want you to consider what you can offer that others cannot. And that could be you could offer the advice coming from someone who's been through it. Maybe you are a health and wellness educator who helped heal themselves from cancer or basically went through chemo or went through the radiation treatment and that you came out on the other side even healthier than you did when you went into chemo or radiation. So that's going to give you a different perspective than everybody else who is out there. And then those of us who have gone through cancer, radiation, the treatment, and taking the medication, we're going to seek you out because you have the experience. And so we know that we feel like you know what you're talking about. You know that you've been through what I've been through. And so we're going to reach out to you. And then finally, you want to validate your niche and you want to look at people who are doing what you're doing. Even it doesn't have to be exactly, because if you try to find someone who's doing exactly what you're going, it might be very hard. But people who are doing things around what you're doing, I want you to look at the services that they're offering and then you figure out which one that you want to do. You don't have to follow what they're doing, but you figure out and look at what other people are doing and you choose and pick which one works best for you. That is the foundation of building a really successful coaching business from scratch that you're going to love and you're going to stick it out. Because I don't know, guys, I've been doing this for a very long time. And I've been doing a little bit of everything. I remember if you go back and listen to some of the other episodes, I did talk about it. I used to be a life coach. I laugh at that because I can't even believe I thought that, but I was trying to do what other people were doing online. But I realized the more I looked at what I did, I wrote down my list of my skill sets, my experiences, and my passion. And I started to find the intersection of what, what I can get paid off from and what I like doing. I realized that there were some things that just worked better for me. One-on-one coaching, I did that. Group coaching, I do that. Offer more digital products, I do that. The more you work at this, the better you would get. So that's just why I'm sharing how to build a successful coaching business from scratch, because this is the beginning. And I'm going to say this before I move on to the second one, is that this is a work in progress. You will change what you are interested in and like doing right now. I guarantee you it will be different and it's okay. I feel like I say that a lot. It's okay. And it is, because that means you are evolving. You're figuring out that what really works best for you. And you're not stuck trying to do something that doesn't work. So let's go on to creating a compelling brand. This is the second thing. Once you figure out what your niche is, which should relate to your experiences, your skills, and your passion, the next thing is creating a compelling brand. Now, I do want you to remember that a compelling brand is not about the logo all the time. A lot of time people start their business and they're like, oh, I got to get a logo and I got to get my colors together and I got to take these brand photos. And actually, that's not what a brand really is about. Your brand is about the perception you want people to have about your coaching services. This is where the personal branding comes in. Now, if you missed that episode, I can't remember what episode that is, but go through and look at the episode. I talk about building your personal brand. This is what people are saying about you behind your back. That is a compelling brand that you want to create. I'm going to tell you, no one's going to say, oh my gosh, did you see that girl's logo? Oh my gosh, did you see that girl's tagline? Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Let me hire her. No one's going to say that. They're going to say, oh my gosh, did you watch that video of that coach sharing her experiences on how she dealt with XYZ and the solutions and the resources that she's offering? That is what people are going to be talking about. And that's what you want to focus on. But one of the things that really messes up a lot of people when it comes to creating a compelling brand is inconsistency. And I'm not going to say inconsistency all the time about their logos and their color schemes, because I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't really come up with a cohesive color scheme until about 2 years ago. And guys, I love the color gold. So you're going to see gold in some capacity. But I didn't know the exact gold that I wanted to use, right? I didn't have the hex code that I would use on all of my platforms. I just knew that gold or that yellow family was my thing. What I'm talking about when it comes to inconsistency is showing up with a message that is authentically you. A lot of times, again, we get stuck scrolling, looking at what other people are doing, and we feel like we have to do what they're doing. We feel like we have to sound like them or that we have to look like them, our background, and all this kind of stuff. And guys, that really gets in the way of developing who you are to become. Right now, this episode is about starting from scratch. And when you're starting from scratch, you ain't gonna have everything together. You're just not. And 4 or 5 years from now, you're not gonna have it together. So just put in your mind what you really want to focus on when it comes to creating a compelling brand is to be consistently to show up for your people in the best way that you can. And if that is showing up with a hat like me, I just left a social event for my sorority. And I was like, I could change clothes. I could have put on a more full face makeup for those of you who can actually listen to this on my YouTube channel. I could have done all of that, but I decided not to. I want to continue to show up and drop an episode every single week. That is my goal. And so to do that, I consistently have to show up. And if I got in the weeds of thinking that I have to look this way and it has to be this way and all this kind of stuff, I would be inconsistent and probably would not get an episode out. So that's one of the biggest mistakes that I see when it comes to people trying to create a brand when they're first starting out. They're looking at other things, logos and colors, and not really thinking about their personal brand, how they are to be perceived by other people. You want people to be saying certain things about you behind your back so that if you want those positive things to be said about you behind your back, then you have to show up consistently to give them something to talk about. All right. I know that's a different perspective on that. Okay. So I want y'all to think about that. So let's go on to number 3. Number 3 is going to be utilizing effective marketing strategies. And this is going to be marketing strategies to build your clientele base or to sell digital products. So, for example, content marketing can position you as an expert in your niche. Now, I just talked about creating a compelling brand and showing up consistently and positioning yourself as the expert is the biggest and the least expensive way. It's free. It costs you nothing to show up and market your business when you show up and show out, as I like to say. So if you could start creating a blog, share your expertise, start a podcast like I'm doing. If you are even more like you are not shy, start videos. If you don't want to do blogging, doing videos or doing a podcast, then post on social media. This is going to be a way that you start to position yourself as an expert. Because I'm going to tell you this, there are a lot of people who are not doing. They're just talking a game. They're taking trainings and they're signing up for courses and they're going to all these workshops. And these people are saying the same exact thing. Show up and show out. Tell people what you know. Don't worry about trying to I can't share all that stuff because then they'll never buy from me. Like we worry about the wrong thing. Your job as a coach starting out or a coach who's been at it for a while and you're struggling and you haven't gotten over the hump of making the money that you want to, I can tell you're probably worrying about the wrong thing instead of just trying to make an impact, trying to make a difference in people's lives. And that when you start to do that, the things that people say behind your back are going to be the things that you want them to say about you because now you're not focusing about all the other things. Okay. So one of the common mistakes that I see is that people are trying to be on all these different social media platforms at once. You got TikTok, you got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got Pinterest, you got YouTube. Everyone, you're trying to be on all of these platforms at once, and it is overwhelming. But someone who is just starting off in your coaching business, you can't do this. You can't do this good. I can tell you that, right? You're going to be overwhelmed and you're going to be like, what do I post on this? And how do I post on that? Back in the day, you could post the same exact thing that you post on Facebook, could be posted somewhere else. That is not the case. A lot of these platforms require that same piece of content to be positioned in a different way on these different platforms. And who got time for that when you're first starting out? I know I didn't. I don't now. One of the mistakes that I don't want you to make, I want you to know that you do not have to be on all of those platforms. You just need to choose one or two that you like to be on. Because there's another platform out there called Lemonade. I don't know if y'all know about that, but Lemonade is out there. And I tell you, probably this time next year, it's going to be the next Instagram. I'm just saying. But don't get on there if you haven't at least are not proficient in one of the other platforms that you're interested in. So here are some common tips that I want to help you with when it comes to marketing your coaching business. The first thing is that I want you to start looking at content marketing. I want you to find a way to start putting out content. If that's podcasting, do a podcast. If that's video, that's video. If that's blogging, if that's blogging. If that's social media, posting consistently captions and tips on social media platforms, then go ahead and do that. But I do want you to have some type of plan for producing content. The second thing is social media. I want you to engage on the platforms that you're the most comfortable on. Start leaving comments on other people's posts. Start leaving likes. Start building up your friends and followers that way on those social media platforms. Again, I don't want you to try to be on all of those platforms, but I do want you to focus on just a few of those platforms that you feel the most comfortable on. And then the last one is going to be email marketing. Now, a lot of us don't talk about this, and I'm going to tell you that I really wasn't really good at this either, but it is very important because a couple of months ago, I lost access to my Facebook account, which made me lose my Facebook group, my Facebook personal page, and my Facebook business page. Y'all, I was devastated. But what saves my butt is that I have an email list. And so the sooner that you can start building up your email list, the better. And this requires that you have some type of freebie, some type of goodie that people will give you their email address for this freebie that you're giving. And that is the goal, is just to build your list. When you're starting off from scratch, you get a little overwhelmed. If I was to number this of importance, I would say content marketing is first. Get that handled. Figure out how you're going to share content. The second thing is to choose what social media platform that you're going to be on. And then the third thing will be to start building your email list. And I'm going to do an episode about email marketing really soon. And then the last thing will be tools and resources. This is key to any business. Tools and the resources out there are to help you make building your business easy and faster. And one of the things that I like to tell new people is that, look, get the software that you need to make life easy for running your business. And one of the things that I love was about scheduling. If you're starting a coaching business, you're going to want clients, and clients are going to want to schedule with you. And because you ain't got time to be going back and forth with emails. You don't. Right. So I like to tell people, start with some kind of scheduling system that you people can automatically book the appointment with you and pay for that appointment. And it immediately goes onto your calendar, and they automatically start get email reminders. So you don't have to do all of that. And one of the systems that I used was Candly. Candidly saved my butt multiple times with reminding me of appointments, reminding my clients of appointments, and just really just making me come across a lot more professional than trying to send these individual emails. So Candidly is going to be the way to start if you want to use different tools. Now, here's some other tools that I recommend when it comes to scheduling. You can also use Audacity. That's a great scheduling system as well. If you're into project management, like you want things to be in order, then Trello or Asana is a great platform. I use both. I think Trello is probably my favorite because of the way it is visually set up in boards, but I think Asana you can do that as well. You're going to be doing some type of video conferencing with your client. And so Zoom is a great platform for that, as well as Google Meet. And then you got email marketing software. I use MailChimp. I've been with MailChimp forever, but there's so many other email marketing software out there. You got ConvertKit, you got Floordesk. There's several. I'm still with MailChimp, and of course, I'm not sponsored by any of these things that I am recommending or tools that I'm recommending to you. But I'm with MailChimp. You can look at all the other platforms, email marketing platforms that work best for you and your price point. But I do want you to remember, the right tools can save you time and make running your business a whole lot smoother. At this point, I would love to answer some questions from you, whether it's about finding your niche, branding, marketing strategies, or just the best tools to use. I'm here to help you on that journey. So just let me know. And I hope you found this episode really helpful. If you did, please share it with other aspiring coaches, and don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more insights and tips. You guys have an awesome and blessed day, and I'll be talking to you later. Peace out.